Hey, what's up guys, it's Terminator's sister Caroline. Please support my brother by subscribing and turning on post notifications. Also check out the people who inspired him to make trolling videos. Their channels will be in the description for you to check out.
I was 10 years old, and I was home alone. But that wasn't a big deal because we lived in a small city. My mom and dad were at my grandma's house. I couldn't go because I was sick. It was around 9 p.m. when I was about to go to sleep. My room was really small, and it only had one window facing my bed. That window to me was kind of scary, because when you're a little kid, your imagination can sometimes go wild. At that time, it wasn't my imagination though. Like I said, I was about to go to bed when I heard a loud scream coming from outside. It was really scary, but I tried to be quiet so I could listen to what was going on outside. Nothing was happening though. It was really quiet, like nothing had happened at all. Quieter than normal, actually. Some time had passed, and everything seemed okay, so I just laid down and tried to sleep. 1 hour later, I heard that loud scream again, but this time, it seemed to be closer. I froze. I was so freaked out I couldn't even move. 30 minutes later, again, the same scream. At that point, I was about to cry. I don't know why, but that scream wasn't just a scream. It was at this high pitch, and it was just so creepy. Finally, 15 minutes later, I saw something at that window. It was a really skinny woman, and she seemed so happy for some reason. She was smiling, and her smile was so big and creepy. When I saw her, I started crying, and she started screaming again. I was horrified. She was just looking at me, smiling and screaming for the whole night. The next morning, my parents came back home, and I told them everything. They called the police, and the police found out that my window, that was facing my bed, was broken. But it didn't seem like it was broken with some sort of weapon, but as if it were broken by a really high pitch.
I was 10 at the time this happened. I loved my bedroom, since it had a TV, a bed, and a closet with my computer on my desk. One night when I was sleeping, I heard a noise coming from my closet, which kind of woke me up. I didn't mind it at all because I was still trying to fall back asleep to go to school tomorrow. 3 hours later, after I woke up and ate breakfast, I was getting ready to pack my bag, which was in my bedroom, for school. When I got in my room and packed my bag, I looked at the window and saw some tall black figure with a hoodie outside of my bedroom window. My heart dropped. And when I said, "Who in the world is that?" the figure ran away. I didn't see the figure's face since he was wearing a black hoodie, and it was a little dark outside since it was 5 a.m. in the morning. After I came back from school, I was on my phone, researching for my school project. Suddenly, I heard a loud tap on the window. It was that figure again, and this time I saw his face. He was a man in his late 40s. He had wrinkly skin and had black hair. He smiled at me and said, "Hey, want some candy? Come outside of your house and I'll give you some." He laughed and waited for me to come outside. He ran to the front door and made a mistake by standing there because my dad was going to go to work, and he opened the front door and yelled at him to get the hell off his property or he'll call the police. I rushed to my dad and told him he had been outside of my bedroom window stalking me. He was about to call the police when he realized he didn't want me to get scared that I was going to get kidnapped or something. So he said he would install security cameras. The only reason why I didn't scream when he was outside of my bedroom window is because that I thought it was one of my friends trying to study with me. But I thought to myself, why the hell would any of my friends want to study at 5 a.m. in the morning? and none of my friends were really that tall. That night, I heard someone laughing in my closet. I didn't open my eyes, but I was scared to death, since I heard that he was scratching the bedroom closet with something that sounded kind of like a knife. I waited a minute or two until I built up my courage to make a run for it and scream for my life while I ran to my parents' bedroom and locked the door. I explained to them what happened, and there was someone in my closet. My mom called 911, and the guy was saying stuff like, "Come out, and I won't make your parents watch as I stab you." And that was the thing that made me so scared, because my brain was alerting me that he did have a knife. Seconds later, we heard sirens, and me and my parents heard the police bust the door yelling, "Police, drop your weapon and put your hands up." Me and my parents were relieved that he was gone. I was very lucky that my closet was far away from my bed. It turned out that the guy was a crazy mental guy who escaped from his mental hospital by stabbing the security guards and breaking out. From now on, my parents have set up security cameras in each and every room, and also outside. Who knows what would have happened to me if I didn't hear him laughing in my closet? Would I have been stabbed to death? Or what if he was hiding under my bed? Since that day, I still don't know how we got in my parents' house. Maybe my mom or dad forgot to lock the front door. Or he got in from my bedroom window.
When I was 19 years old in 1985 on New Year's Eve, a bunch of my friends and I went to a rooftop bar of a hotel. About a half hour before midnight, I ran down to my car because I had forgotten my camera. I figured I would have plenty of time to get back up there and find my friends. I grabbed my camera and I got into an elevator all by myself. About halfway up, the elevator started shaking and it stopped completely. I was trapped. I have always had a problem with confined spaces, so this was not an ideal situation for me. After a few minutes, everything went silent that was going on outside. Then out of nowhere, the elevator lights went out, and I started to hear children laughing. But this was not the type of place where children would be. My heart started beating faster and faster and harder. Then all of a sudden, I passed out. As I woke up, I noticed that I could not move or talk. I thought to myself, not sleep paralysis again. Then the lights started to flicker on and off, and then all of a sudden, I see a black figure to the left of me in the corner of the elevator, crouching down, smiling at me. I tried to scream, but nothing would come out. I tried to move, but I couldn't. A guy came over the loudspeaker and told me there was an electrical short and that he would have me out soon. There's a camera in the elevator, so to the security guard it looked like I was just laying there. I guess they figured I was drunk, being that it's New Year's. Anyways, every attempt to scream or move, that figure would just start laughing at me and pointing. This whole time the lights are flickering. Then all of a sudden, I can hear the huge crowds counting down for New Year's. 10. The dark figure is staring at me, and now with a menacing smile, with 10 fingers up. 9. He's still looking at me with 9 fingers up, and he's moving closer. 8. He was still looking at me with 8 fingers up, and he's closer. 7. The same thing. 6. The same thing. 5. The same thing. 4. He's drooling, and he's much closer. 3. He's closer. 2. He was closer. Then the lights quit flickering, and it was pitch black. Then all of a sudden, outside went silent again. I felt breathing in my right ear. And then out of nowhere, I hear 1. I couldn't breathe. The light started to flicker again, and then a figure was on my chest. And all of a sudden, it was gone. And I can talk and move again. Usually when I have sleep paralysis, something bad happens. Once I got out of the elevator an hour later, I found out that there was a brawl during the countdown on the rooftop bar that I was at, and 4 people were killed by some maniac who was waiting until the end of the countdown to start hacking up people with a machete. Ever since then, I have not had a sleep paralysis episode.
Hey, yeah, just put that video right there. Thank you.